Hey guys, what's up? Today I'll be starting a new sort of video series where I'll be talking about the finer intricacies of Heroes of the Storm for the new and advanced Heroes of the Storm players. We'll be starting with the very basics, and I will be eventually talking high level stuff like drafting and map specific strategies, etc. But for today I'll be starting with the question, is Heroes of the Storm for you? So today I'll be talking about similarities and differences with Heroes of the Storm and the general MOBA genre, hero roles, a tutorial, free-to-play rotation, game modes, and a rundown of the main screen UI. And finally I'll be ending with your first 3 games, a little bit of tips for those. So for similarities, the main objective is the same, it's just destroy the main building. However, one of the differences in Heroes of the Storm and other MOBAs is the way it's dealt with, but I'll be getting to that later on. Most of the game is also 5v5, like other genres, so the levels, of course, every hero levels, but there's a big difference about that later on too. There's lanes, 3 lanes and towers. Not every map has 3 lanes though. And there's in-game currencies used for buying heroes right here. Now the difference is that levels aren't personal. Whenever someone on your team kills a minion and gets experience for that, everyone on your team gets experience for that. So that means there's a team-wide level for your team and their team. The second is there's no items. Instead there's talents. Let me pick a hero here. Pick Sagara. At level 1, you'll have these 3 talents. You pick one of these. At level 4, you pick one of these. At level 7, you pick one of these, and so forth. You can't change them, you can't sell them. Once you pick one, it's set. Set and done. Second is traits. Every hero has 3 abilities and 2 heroics, one that you choose at level 10, but there's also a trait. Every hero has a trait. Some heroes have a passive trait, like for example Kerrigan, 10% of the damage you deal becomes a shield. And there for Tannis, it's you have a shield after 75% health. But for other heroes, it's an active ability, like Chen. Chen compresses D, which is the default trait button, and he will start drinking. He will gain an increasing shield per second, as well as Brook, which is his main resource. Tyrande, for example, her trait is Hunter's Mark. 20-second cooldown, and you mark a target, and for 4 seconds they are revealed, and they receive 25% extra damage. So traits are pretty much the passives, except they offer more game depth instead of others. Then you have the jungle. In most MOBAs, a jungle is something that you farm. In Heroes of the Storm, that's not so. Every map has a set number of mercenary camps, which is the jungle. And you kill those, and then you cap it, and then those mercenaries start going towards their designated lanes and follow it. It's just free push that you get. Usually it's for making room, split pushing. Like if there's an objective bot in the bottom lane, you can take a mercenary camp that will be top, and they will go down top, so that while you're in bottom team fighting and getting the objective, the mercenary stop will get value from there. Then you have objectives and maps. There's a large number of maps in Heroes of the Storm, instead of the one map in Dota and League of Legends that every game is on. Every map has a different objective. I'll be getting on to those maps and objectives later on. At level 10, when you reach a hero at level 10, you can purchase their master skin for 10,000 gold. This is Zul's normal skin and his master skin. Usually master skins, they don't change the effects at all. They just look cooler. They have they look more, they just look more amazing. They have a bigger presence, and usually it's more prestigious because for 10k gold you can also buy a hero. So by people deciding that they'd rather have that skin instead of a hero, it's a little bit of a show of dedication. Second, and after that, is heroes and player levels. Like I said, at level 10 you get to unlock your master skin for a hero. You can buy that. But your hero, your character, also levels. Here are your rewards. At level 2 you get gold, 4 gold, 8 gold, 10 gold, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40 you also get gold. But at level 5, 7, 12, and 15 you get an extra hero rotation slot. I'll talk about that later on a little bit. And for heroes, at level 5, 9, 15, and 20 you also get gold for reaching those heroes. And then during those you unlock like portraits and skin variations. Like, so skin variations is this blue, blackish, and then you have a green, you have a more red one. These are unlocked as you level. Same with mount colors. You unlock those from leveling 2. Now, hero roles. I'll be talking more in depth about this later on in a future episode, but for now I'll just give a small touchdown on it. You have the warrior role. These are all the warriors right now. Warrior is basically your tank and bruiser. Not every one of these is a great solo tank. Like, for example, a great solo tank is ETC and Joe, whereas Artanis, Anub, and Sonya, they're more bruisers. They can't solo tank at all, and you're still going to need a different tank. But they still have a decent amount of survivability as well as a decent amount of damage to it. Second, you have assassins. Assassins are basically 3 different categories. You have the ranged assassin marksmen, which is Raynor, Vala, Lunara. Those are all the ranged auto attackers. Then you have ranged assassins, which are mages. They focus on spell damage and ability damage, like Jaina, Kuromi, and Mimir. And then you have melee assassins. Melee assassins are kind of like bruisers. Some are bruisers, some are not. They have more damage, way more damage, but less survivability. Like Alarak, Garrigan, and Thrall. Next you have supports. It's pretty much 2 kinds of supports. There's the real healers like Ariel and Brightwing and Lily. And then there's supports that are kind of true supports. They don't heal that much, and they're more of a traditional support as in League of Legends, where they focus more on utility and a little bit of healing. Like Tyrande and Karazin and Tassadar, for example. And then you have specialists. These specialists, they live up to their name. Specialists are heroes that have a completely different way of playing. They focus often more on split pushing and creating pressure all over the map rather than team fighting. That doesn't mean that they don't have a whole lot of damage, quite the opposite. Over the course of the game, most of them can even top damage pretty easily. But because of their different playstyles, they're not in every map. They also need specific comps to work. Like, for example, my favorite is Abathur. Abathur never hits minions at all, ever. Instead, one of his abilities is his symbiote, his Q. You put a little creature above a target and you gain 3 other abilities, and that's how Abathur fights. He doesn't fight at all. But you have Asmodan, which creates minions that push by both his passive and his W, as well as he has a long-range AoE nuke. He is amazing split pusher, amazing. Gazo makes turrets. He's great for holding points. Sylvanas disables buildings and minions, so she's great for split pushing with her team. Zul, whenever a minion dies near him, they become a skeleton, and thus he can kill a wave, let those skeletons push, and then go to a different wave and clear that and let those skeletons push. And lastly, you have multi-class. Multi-class is a new type of hero. It's simply a hero that's two of the other heroes. Right now there's only Varian, which is a warrior, and then assassin, depending on how you build it. So, the tutorial, I can't really show you guys the tutorial because I have already done it both on my North America realm, my European realm, as well as the PTR realm, so I can't really show you guys. But you will get a hero there, and the expert one you get Vala, and you just have to do a couple things. It will teach you levels and talents and all the works. And after that, you get 4,000 gold. You get to choose between 3 heroes. Yeah, the 3 heroes are Muradin, which is a tank, has a good leap, has good survivability, and his passive allows him to heal over time after not being damaged. He's a solid choice. If you're interested in healing, pick him. The other one is Jaina, which is your run of the mill mage. Has a lot of area effect damage, and all her spells slow. Whenever you hit an enemy that's slowed by you, it deals extra damage. It's just a great pick, great hero in general. And the third one, Tyrande. Tyrande is a support. She has a low number of heals. Unless you are really good with her, you're not going to get a whole lot of value out of her. But she has a slow. You can build her for damage for those early levels, and you'll do pretty good. But I'd suggest picking Jaina or Muradin, just because those 2 heroes are just great, solid first pick heroes. Now, next, we'll be talking about the UI. This is the main screen. Every month, this changes whenever a new hero comes out. Here you have breaking news, like tomorrow there'll be maintenance at 7 AM. Here you have a party finder, which you can sign up for. You can also request to join parties and invite them to party. There will be friends, other parties, and people around your skill level. They will all be in one of the channels that you are joined. Like right now, I'm in general, MFPT chat, and new player chat. So I'll be getting people from there in this section looking for parties. Here I have my whisper section. When you get a whisper, it's put in a different section. You can also go to their whispers from here, as well as all the other chats. Here, whenever the new hero is out, you can press here for more info. So bring her to our shop page, and you can click here to try her and try more. I'm talking about that next episode, so I'm not gonna touch that up now. You have the shop. This is the featured bundle. Every week there's 2 skins and the hero on sale. These are shown here, as well as old bundles that are on sale and the new hero. You can go to the heroes tab. You can sort it by release date, prices, and alphabetical. You can hide what you have, what you don't have. You can select your role, and you can search. Pretty much the same thing for skins. Release date, price, alphabetical. Skins that you don't have, skins that all have, and you can hide your own, you can search. The mount section, it's the same thing. Mounts, every month or so, one mount rotates out and a new one takes its place. Like right now, for example, iPad and Helpful are available. Next month, that might change. One of them might go away and a different one will come into place. Here's the bundles. Every week, every time, there's always like 5 bundles. One of them is always the new hero, and then there's seasonal event bundles, for example. Again, price, alphabetical, and release date, sort. And then there's stim packs. Stim packs are a great thing. You get 100% more XP from matches earned, whether you won or lost, and 150% extra gold. Now, gold, you don't get a whole lot of gold, unless there's a number of things. Like, for example, if you lose a match, you only get 20 gold. If you win a match, you get 30 gold. Only 10 gold for winning a match. But every day you get a daily quest. Like for today, I got play 8 games, which gives me 800 gold. Not bad. But the most gold you get is from leveling all your heroes. Getting a hero to level 5 gives you 500 gold. That's what you go for. That's what you should aim for the most. And as you're leveling, you'll also get gold too. At level 10, you get a free 7-day stim pack. There's also been a couple of seasonal events that gave stim packs, so you'll probably get one eventually. But for the stim pack that you can buy, you have the 7-day and the 30-day. Costs $4 for the 7 days and $10 for the 30 days. Pretty good purchase if you're wanting to level up fast. And then you have the play stuff. You can choose between versus AI and quick match, which is the same screen, just a different background. When you're going against AI, you can choose whether you want AI teammates, you want to do training, or you want to do co-op with others, and you can select the difficulty of bot from elite to beginner. Quick match 2, click your hero, brings up the hero tab with all the heroes that are available to you. These are all the heroes that I have, the ones that I grayed out, I don't. Ones with the blue thing over here, those heroes are free to play, which changes every week. And as you level up with those rotation slots, you get more heroes that are available to you every week. What you should try is to get all those heroes to level 5. Then you have unranked. You need to have 14 heroes available to do this. It's just to practice for your draft and stuff. Then you have your ranked screen here. You need 14 heroes at level 5 to be able to do ranked, unless it's Team League, in which case you're fine either way, you can do it whenever you want. But whatever you do, don't jump into ranked right away. It's the biggest trap, it's the biggest mistake most people do. At max level, we'll be dealing with different players, new players. They know what to do, they're way better, and you're going to learn more from those matches. Whereas if you do Hero League, you're going to get those players too, except they're going to be way serious, and if you're not that good yet, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to lose games that could have been won if you were better. So, don't do that, it's a trap. Then you have Brawl. Every week there's a new Brawl. You have to do 3 games and you get a portrait and 1,000 gold. Pretty good, pretty nice. For example, this week's Brawl is on Brax's Holdout. The difference is that the only heroes that are available are heroes with a StarCraft skin, or just StarCraft heroes, and the respawn time is maxed at 40 seconds. That's 40 seconds. Pretty good, pretty nice. Then you have custom games. You can just pick a map, create a game, create your things, pick your slots, observers, change the draft if you want, change the private history, whatever, all the things that you want. Now, after that, I'm going to be talking about the maps in alphabetical order. So you're going to have Battlefield of Eternity. Battlefield of Eternity is a 2-lane map with a large center section where occasionally 2 immortals will spawn. Let's see if I can show it. Probably not. There's a large 2-lane map. In the middle, there will be occasionally 2 immortals, an angel, and a demon. Whenever one reaches half-life, they both change positions. There's 4 spaces, and after that, after one of them dies, the other one will go from the team that it belongs to, like the blue side, the angel side. If the angel survives, the angel will go to the lane which has the least siege damage to buildings. So if both lanes are still completely up, but one lane has one auto attack taken to a turret or a wall, it will go to that lane. It will go to the other lane. So it is to make sure that if there's one lane that's completely up, but the other lane is completely destroyed, that you can't just go straight to the core with the immortal. Second is Brax's Holdout. It's another 2-lane map. It's rather small. There's 2 control points. You have to control both points, and then the Zerg pen will start filling up by 2% every second for as long as both are controlled. Whenever one reaches 100%, both Zerg pens open, and the large Zerg wave, one on top, one on bottom, rotates per time. Like for first, the left time might get to top, then the second time they will get the bottom one. This is not affected by the amount of siege damage, so you can play with this. Then the Zerg wave will go down that lane, and it will kill everything in sight, including heroes. If you're a hero and you're in those Zerg, they will attack you, unlike most objectives. Then you have Blackguard's Bay, which is a large map. There's 3 lanes. 2 lanes are top, which are really close, because it will only take like 3 seconds to rotate between the 2. And there's a bottom lane, and in the middle there's a lot of siege camps. Every siege camp drops 2 gold coins. You can turn in coins, 10 of them, at the middle guy, and then he will command his ghost ship to start firing on the enemy buildings. After that, it is increased by 2 gold coins per time. Also, occasionally there will be 2 treasure chests spawning by the middle lane and the bottom lane that has 5 coins each that need to be destroyed. Then there's Cursed Hollows. I will speak about that one later on because that's a tutorial map, so I'll go a little bit in depth more about that one. And you have Dragonshire, which is kind of your typical 3-lane map. There's a shrine both in the bottom lane and the top lane, and when both of them are controlled by the same team, there will be a light beam going to the middle, and someone from their team can cap the Dragon Knight. They will become the Dragon Knight, they will become a boss, get some new abilities, a flame breath that does a decent amount of damage overall, and then leave a burning patch on the ground for a couple seconds, as well as a knockback and a charge. He will charge to a hero, and then he will knock him back quite far. Then you have the Garden of Terror, which is another 3-lane standard map. The area between the two will sometimes be infested with like zombie plant kind of things. They drop seeds, and whenever a team has 100 seeds, they can cap the Garden Terror in their own base. In the Garden Terror, it does extra damage to buildings, structures, and minions, so it's great for pushing. And its abilities are, it puts a plant on the ground, which makes it deal even more damage to structures and buildings, as well as disables everything in its range. And the other is it throws a small pot on the ground, and everyone into it will be pulsing and then polymorphing everything between it in it. Then you have Haunted Mines, which is a 2-lane map. It's quite small, and the actual objective is a whole different section. There are 4 mine shafts. There's one close to the gates, both of them in the middle, and then there's 2 right in the smack dab center of both lanes. You click on it, you channel for a second, and then you go into the bottom part of the mine. Inside the mines, it's infested with small skeletons. They drop skulls, and after all the skulls are gathered, 2 golems spawn that rotate regardless of siege damage, so blue might get top first, and then afterward the next round blue will get bottom. Then the golems will rise. They have 2 big golem bosses. They don't do a whole lot unless it's a very strong one. There's 100 skulls in total, and if one team has 30 and the other has 70, they still both get a golem, unlike Punisher map, for example. But one of them, their one with a 30, will be way weaker than one with a 70. It's pretty good. Usually you'll want to try to get 50, of course, 50 each, but you want to get as much as possible, of course. And you have Infernal Shrines, the Punisher map. It's a 3-lane map. It's kind of small. It's pretty small. And occasionally one of the 3 shrines will activate. Then there will be a wave of 10 small skeletal guys that you have to kill. After 40 minions are killed by one team, the Punisher spawns on theirs. So if one team has 30, the other team has 40, the ones with the 30 will not get the Punisher, only the ones with the 40. It's a race to who gets it first. The Punisher will occasionally jump on people, start smacking them, and then rotate back to smacking buildings. Every Punisher has a different ability. There's Mortar Punishers, which throws bombshells on the ground and explode. One of them is Frozen, that throws freezing things on the ground that explode after a second and a half, I think, and then it roots people inside that area for a second and a half too. And the third is Arcane, which is a small orb on the ground with a laser that slowly rotates, dealing heavy damage to everyone in it, including buildings. So if you get one on the building, it's going to do a lot of damage. Next you have Sky Temple. Sky Temple is a map. It's a 3-lane map. It's pretty big. There's 3 temples that will occasionally open. You have to stand in it and keep on activating it. You have to keep control of it, and it will start shooting at the enemy buildings. First map, it's 2, then there's 1. It's pretty easy. It has a couple guys on it that will defend it, but they're not a big deal. Most heroes can solo them real easily. Then you have Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's a small 3-lane map, and the ranged minions drop a gem. Every minion drops 1 gem. You can turn in 50 gems, and it will send a big spider down every lane that does 2 things. It will occasionally spawn 2 other spiders, and it will occasionally spawn a big wave of other small spiders that just does damage on every wave. It will keep on flying until it reaches the enemy wave, so you want to try to keep everything pushed out as much as you can when you send those spiders down. It's just a great map where it's all about split pushing, 100% push. Then you have Towers of Doom. Towers of Doom is a rather unique map, as in the core, both cores are shielded. You can't damage those. However, they have 40 health. The objective on this map is altars. Every round, a couple altars will spawn, and whoever caps it, their keeps and their core will send 1 bolt at the enemy core. So you have to cap 10 altars if you don't lose any keep. And last but most certainly not least, you have Warhead Junction. Warhead Junction is an immense map, 3 lanes, and occasionally there will be nukes spawning there. Those nukes do a lot of damage in a small circle and less damage in a wider circle, mostly to buildings, but because heroes can just walk out of it, it has a long delay. It's just split pushing, and again has a lot of team fights for the nukes, but it also, because the map is so big and several nukes spawn at once, the map is focused on smaller skirmishes. Alright, part 3, talking about the Cursed Hollow. I'm gonna go into a Cursed Hollow game now so I can show you guys what it looks like.
Prepare yourself for battle,
Cursed Hollow.
Heroes.
There's 2 sight things right here. One over here. One over here. You just gotta stand on it for a couple seconds and cap. It's a pretty decent size 3-lane map. It's your standard distance.
The battle begins
Here's the core.
in 10 seconds.
There it is on red side. Now, for Cursed Hollow,
5, 4,
the objective
3,
is occasionally there'll be a tribute
1.
spawning,
Well,
and you have to
what
cap
are you
that
waiting
tribute.
for?
But the tribute itself doesn't do anything. But once you have 3 tributes, whenever a team has 3 tributes, every minion on the team opposing the one that has the 3 tributes, the cursed team has 1 health, and all their structures don't attack except for the core. So whenever you have the curse, whenever the enemy team has a curse, they can't do anything at all. All they can do is pretty much defend, because every lane is pushing really hard.
I've got a good feeling about this.
Cap. Watchtower. Still no. Never die for a watchtower. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Give sight. Sight is very important, I know. But it's not worth dying for. Because just wait a couple minutes, everyone left, and you can take it for free. Now, mercenary camps are, here's a siege camp, and here's a siege camp. There's the bruiser camp right here, and another bruiser camp right here. There's a boss here, and another boss is here.
Sounds good.
Tributes will spawn in either this location, this location, this location, this location, this location, or this location. As you can see, it's a perfect mirror. Here it is.
Sure. Just surrender.
Once you start going, wait until the tribute spawns, so you can show it how it goes. This map is your first free map. At all. All you want, all you can play.
If you're sure.
When you start playing, it'll give you notice. You have to play this map 3 times before all the other mobs are unlocked. On the quick match or AI, Your choice. Tribute should be spawning any second now.
Alright,
Usually the first objective spawns around the 2-minute mark. Like for example, the first treasure chest and Blackheart's Base at 1 minute. I think this one spawns at
Time is
2
up
minutes
here.
before. Yeah.
Gather tribute and earn my favor.
Spawns up here top. It gives a 15-second warning and it's active at 2:40.
If you're sure.
It's waiting. And this is the tribute. Just right click it. You'll tell your channel for 3 seconds. And once it's channeled, it gives a globe for the team that has channeled.
Well done.
Here's the markers for 3.
If you're
Capping a tribute, getting a curse does not increase the amount of curses that you need afterwards. So, no need to worry about that. Alright, and that's that. That's the Cursed Hollow. This is the very first episode of the Nexus and you. Thank you guys for watching. Next episode I'll be talking more about the try mode. I'll be going in more in depth of the hero roles, and I will also give you guys a couple of goals that you should aim to reach while you're leveling from 1 to level 20-ish. And there you have it. Soul Cleave out.